You pour your heart into caring for them. You buy the best food, the softest beds, and in return you get that silent, unreadable stare. It happens to all of us. And in that moment, the question always haunts you. What is my cat actually thinking? Are they judging us? Do they truly love us? Or are we just a walking vending machine? If you are looking for cat psychology facts to finally understand what your cat thinks of you, you are in the right place. For years, old science claimed they were just using us. But today, we will prove that wrong. We are going to reveal the hidden biological signs that prove you are their secure base. And stick around, because the shocking truth about why they sometimes ignore you on purpose might actually be the biggest compliment of all. To understand what your cat thinks of you, we first have to understand what they think of themselves. Unlike dogs, who have been selectively bred for thousands of years to understand human facial expressions and follow commands, cats effectively domesticated themselves. They chose to live near us because we attracted mice. This means their view of us hasn't been warped by forced breeding. Their opinion of you is honest, it is raw, and as you are about to discover, it is far more profound than simply the person who opens the can. Let's peel back the layers of the feline brain, starting with the biggest misconception of all. Chapter 1: The Big Cat Misconception. Let's start by debunking the most pervasive myth in pet ownership. You might have heard the theory popularized in the 90s that cats just think humans are big, clumsy, hairless cats. The logic was that because cats use feline social behaviors on us, like rubbing their tails against our legs or grooming our hands, they must view us as equals, or perhaps slightly larger, dimmer members of their pride. However, modern anthrozoology suggests this is false. Dr. John Bradshaw, a renowned expert in the field, argues that while cats communicate with us using their own language, because it's the only one they have, they are acutely aware that we are not cats. Why? Because to a cat, you're a biological anomaly. First, you are incredibly clumsy. You trip over rugs, you bump into door frames, and you lack the fluid grace of a feline. Second, you don't signal. You don't have mobile ears to rotate 180 degrees to show aggression or interest. You don't have a tail to signal irritation. To a cat, you are functionally mute in body language. Third, and most importantly, you don't smell right. You don't produce the feline facial pheromones that define their species. So if they don't think we are cats, what exactly do they think we are? The answer lies in a concept called neoteny. This is the retention of juvenile traits into adulthood. When your cat interacts with you, they aren't acting like an adult cat interacting with a peer. In the wild, adult cats do not meow at each other. They do not need each other. They do not rely on each other for food delivery. These are behaviors reserved exclusively for the kitten-mother relationship. Therefore, the secret truth is that your cat thinks you are the super provider. You are the surrogate mother who never kicked them out of the nest. In their eyes, you are the eternal caregiver. This explains the paradox of their personality, why an independent, lethal hunter who can kill a mouse in seconds will still cry at your feet because their water bowl is slightly stale. They aren't helpless. They are choosing to be dependent on you specifically. They view you as a provider of resources that go beyond food. You are the provider of safety. Chapter 2: The Secure Base Test. Now let's get into the hard science to answer the question that haunts every cat owner at 3 a.m. Do they actually love me, or do they just love the lifestyle I provide? Critics and dog lovers often argue that cats are opportunists. If you died, they say, your cat would eat you. But a groundbreaking study from Oregon State University recently proved that the bond is emotional, not transactional. They used a psychological protocol called the Secure Base Test. This test is usually used on human infants and primates. Here is how it worked. Researchers placed adult cats in an unfamiliar room. This room was strange, smelling of other animals, with no hiding spots, a nightmare scenario for a territorial animal. For 2 minutes, the owner sat in the room with the cat. Then the owner left. The reaction was immediate. The cats showed signs of high distress, crying, pacing, scratching at the door. But the crucial part of the experiment wasn't the separation, it was the reunion. When the owner returned, the researchers observed the cat's reaction. The majority of cats, about 65%, which is statistically identical to the ratio found in human infants, displayed what psychologists call secure attachment. They immediately went to their owner for comfort, rubbed against them to re-establish the scent bond, and then, this is the key, they went back to exploring the room confidently. This is the secure base effect. What does this mean for what they think of you? It means your cat thinks of you as their psychological anchor. When they are alone in a scary world, their anxiety spikes. When you are present, their cortisol levels drop and their bravery increases. They don't look at you and think food dispenser. They look at you and think safety. If your cat follows you from room to room, especially into vulnerable places like the bathroom, it's not because they are stalking you or begging for treats. It's because their confidence is tethered to your presence. You are their bravery. Without you, the world is a much scarier place. Chapter 3. The truth about ignoring you. We have established they see you as a parent figure. But if they love you so much, why do they ignore you when you call their name? It's a classic scenario. You call Luna, come here, and Luna, sitting 5 feet away, doesn't even twitch an ear. You feel judged. You think, she's ignoring me because she doesn't respect me. Actually, what she is thinking is much more complex. Her thought process is, I hear you. I know it's you. I have processed the data, and I am choosing not to respond because I don't have to. A study from the University of Tokyo confirmed this. Scientists played recordings of strangers calling a cat's name versus the owner calling the cat's name. They tracked the micro-movements of the cat's head, ears, and pupils. When a stranger called, little to no reaction, maybe a slight ear flick. When the owner called, the reaction was significant. Their ears swiveled toward the sound immediately, and their pupils dilated, indicating emotional arousal and recognition. But, and here is the kicker, they rarely moved their bodies toward the sound. Why? The answer lies in evolution. Dogs are pack animals. They evolved to work in tandem with humans, following commands to hunt or herd. Responsiveness was bred into them. Cats are ambush predators. In the wild, silence and stillness are virtues. Being loud or coming when called isn't a survival skill, it's a liability. Furthermore, cats are self-domesticated. They didn't evolve to follow orders, they evolved to coexist. So when you call them and they sit like a statue, they are thinking. Data received, location of mother figure identified, no threat detected, no immediate reward offered, action taken, stay put. In a strange, twisted way, their ignoring you is a sign of deep comfort. A cat that ignores you is a cat that feels safe enough to disregard you without fear of punishment. A stressed or fearful cat would be hypervigilant. A relaxed cat knows that your love is unconditional and doesn't require constant performance. They think you are safe enough to be ignored. Chapter 4. Social referencing. They are watching you. Here is something that might make you reconsider your own behavior at home. Your cat is constantly checking your face to know how to feel about the world. This phenomenon is called social referencing. Imagine a new, scary object enters the house, like a loud vacuum cleaner, a delivery person, or a new piece of furniture that smells weird. Studies show that before reacting, most bonded cats will look directly at their human's face. They are scanning for micro-expressions. If you look calm, relaxed, or indifferent, the cat is significantly more likely to remain calm. If you look fearful, tense, or angry, the cat will mirror that emotion and panic. What does this tell us about what they think of you? They think you are the data processor for the environment. They trust your judgment more than their own instincts in complex situations. They view you as the leader of the colony who determines what is a threat and what is safe. But it goes deeper than vision. They can smell your emotions. When you are stressed, Your body releases cortisol and adrenaline, which changes the chemical composition of your sweat. Your cat, with a sense of smell 14 times stronger than yours, detects this shift immediately. If you have ever had a bad day at work, come home, and found your cat acting skittish or distant, it's not because they are being difficult. It's because you smell like danger. They think you are a biochemical beacon. They aren't just living in your house. They are living in your emotional ecosystem. You are their weather forecast. If you are storming, they will seek shelter. If you are sunny, they will bask in your warmth. Chapter 5. The Solicitation Purr. They are manipulating you. We often think of purring as the universal sign of contentment. A purring cat is a happy cat, right? Not always. Your cat has a secret weapon hidden in their throat, and they use it specifically to control you. Researchers at the University of Sussex, led by Dr. Karen McComb, discovered a specific type of vocalization called the solicitation purr. This is different from the low rumble they make when they are sleepy on your lap. When your cat wants food or immediate attention, they modify their purr. They embed a high-frequency cry, almost a whine, within the low-frequency rumble. When researchers analyzed the sound spectrum of this specific purr, they found something incredible. The frequency of that embedded cry, around 220 to 520 Hz, is eerily similar to the distress cry of a human baby. Why do they do this? Because they have learned, over thousands of years of evolution, that humans are hardwired to respond to that sound. It is biologically impossible for us to ignore a baby crying. It triggers a sense of urgency, nurturing, and anxiety in our brains. So what are they thinking when they sit by their empty bowl at 6 a.m. and make that loud, urgent, rattling purr? They are thinking, I have hacked the code. If I make this specific sound frequency, the giant will feel compelled to nurture me. It is psychological manipulation at its finest. And the most fascinating part? They reserve this specific sound just for humans. They do not use the solicitation purr with other cats. This proves they view us as a specific type of caregiver that can be managed through acoustic engineering. They think you are easily programmed, provided they use the right frequency. Chapter 6. The Milk Tread, Kneading. Finally, we have the behavior that brings us back to the very beginning of the bond. Kneading, or as the internet calls it, making biscuits. If your cat jumps on your lap, settles in, and starts rhythmically pushing their paws into your stomach or thigh, sometimes even drooling or sucking on your shirt, they aren't trying to make their bed softer. This is what ethologists call a fixed action pattern derived from kittenhood. Newborn kittens need their mother's mammary glands to stimulate the release of milk. It is a behavior associated with the absolute highest level of safety, warmth, and nourishment a cat can experience. When an adult cat performs this on you, they are entering a trance-like state of regression. They aren't thinking of you as a friend or a roommate in that moment. They are thinking of you as the source of life. They feel so safe, so protected, and so loved in your presence that they mentally revert to being a nursing kitten. They are dropping every single defensive wall they have. In the wild, a cat would never do this in an open area because it makes them vulnerable. Doing it on you is the ultimate compliment. Furthermore, cats have scent glands in their paw pads. As they need you, they are releasing their scent onto your clothes. They are thinking, this human is mine. I am marking them with my scent while I relive my safest memory. You are their biological home. Chapter 7. Do they think you abandon them? Time perception. There is one final dark thought that plagues us. When we leave for work, do they think we have abandoned them? Do they grasp the concept of time? For a long time, we thought animals lived only in the present. But recent evidence suggests cats have episodic memory. They can remember specific events and, to an extent, anticipate the future. However, their perception of time is different. If you leave for 10 minutes or 2 hours, the reaction might be similar. But if you leave for a workday, the secure base effect we talked about earlier is challenged. They don't think he will be back at 5 p.m. They think in terms of routine and fading scent. As the day progresses, your scent in the house begins to fade. As your scent fades, their anxiety can rise. When you return, the explosion of affection, the meowing, the rubbing legs is not just hello. They are thinking, the scent is back, the anchor has returned, the colony is whole again. They don't resent you for leaving. Cats don't hold grudges in the human sense, but they view your return as the restoration of order in their universe. The final verdict. So putting all the biology, psychology, and evolution together, what does your cat secretly think about you? They don't think you are a master. They don't think you are a god. They think you are a cherished, slightly incompetent, non-hostile giant who provides safety, food, and emotional regulation. They think you are family, not in a poetic way, but in a biological, survivalist way. You are the one they choose to be vulnerable with. You are the one they choose to ignore because they trust you won't get mad. You are the one they manipulate with specific sounds because they know you care enough to listen. In a world full of predators, dangers, and competition, your cat looks at you and thinks one single powerful word: safety. And honestly, being the safe harbor for a creature that is programmed to trust no one, that is a badge of honor worth more than any trick a dog could ever learn. Now, there is one specific behavior that confirms your cat has imprinted on you deeper than anyone else in the family. It usually happens when you are sitting in a specific spot, or when you stand up to leave the room. If you want to know if your cat is protecting you or just stealing your warmth, you need to watch this video right here. It explains the thief behavior that is actually a sign of deep love. And if you want to know how to hack their brain back using science to lower their stress levels, check out our guide on the protocols of love. Don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the hidden mind of your pet. See you in the next video.